Hey everyone, it's the start of a new month, so I thought I'd show off a bit of my Atlas Earth account and show you what the first month of 2024 looked like for me in Atlas Earth. I'm planning to do this at the end of every month and keep track of my progress. Hopefully you'll be able to figure out ways to optimize that I might have even left out of my optimal guide, which I'm going to leave a link to that in the top right so you can see it. I plan to have a 4th edition of this guide sometime in the midsummer, just holding out for the Canada opening to get situated first, as well as what other ways they will add for Atlas Bucks. So I'll explain my current standing so far in Atlas Earth going into the month. So at the start of the year, I had 625 parcels of land actually put down, putting me in the maximum of the 7X tier, and approximately 9,400 Atlas Bucks in reserve. The Million Atlas Buck Racing event in Christmas Eve really kicked things off quite well for me, as I earned about 3,500 Atlas Bucks in that event alone, and I was about 15 or so parcels shy of making the 6X tier, basically maxing it out. I could have done the break-even 6X tier that I had mentioned earlier, but I wanted to make a good video for you all when I put down all 105 parcels. So if I had put them all down at the time, I would have had 716 parcels going into 2024. My place in the state of North Carolina at the time was 16th, and I was unranked for the country. For the month of January, I have gained a total of 12,570 Atlas Bucks, or about 405 Atlas Bucks a day. And it would have been more if I had, had a 33 Atlas Buck to $1 conversion promotion at the end of the month. Now, for those of you wondering why I waited out on this one, but not on the sim, where I did go ahead and just reinvest the 25 Atlas Bucks, I just want to note that when starting out, I had mentioned in the guide, you want to get to 150 parcels as fast as possible. Due to the super rent boosts and the amount of Atlas Bucks you gain is a lot more significant because you're gaining more at those early stages than you would at my stage, where I am a mid-game player at this point. So anyway, breaking down the totals, the most earned was on the Explorers Club, no surprise, 3,460 Atlas Bucks. I have had Explorer Club on for the entire month of January, and again, this is mostly because I can afford it and I'm doing it for the channel. Believe me, if I ever got laid off or anything like that, I would get rid of it immediately. The number 2 big earner for me is golfing. Now, normally I'm pretty good at golfing, but on the event on the 14th, I actually finished 2nd place, which got me a profit of 1,918 Atlas Bucks on that alone. That was the majority of the profit I earned from golfing, so that was a total of 3,242 Atlas Bucks. I did finish top 25 and get the state gold in the other 3 events. So there was that. And then, of course, the country silver and state gold in the long 6-hour event on the 14th. In third was ads at 2,374 Atlas Bucks, averaging out to about 79 Atlas Bucks a day. Now, there had been days where I just wasn't paying attention very well, so I barely did anything. Days I focused on the minigames, my work, and so on. I know some players would mention that they can get upwards of 100 to 110 Atlas Bucks a day just from using a timer, but I didn't like using a timer. I didn't like being interrupted when I'm in the zone, when I'm doing something like coding. So, over 80 on minigame days, close to 90 on non-minigame days. That's probably a good month, honestly. That's probably better than what I normally do. Next is fishing at 1,649 Atlas Bucks, top 25 each event. And the main issue here is it came down to state. I live in North Carolina, and North Carolina is like the Thunderdome of Atlas Earth minigames here. Our top 3 to 4 will regularly break top 25 overall, and a couple times you need to finish top 10 overall to podium in an event. However, we don't podium overall. I think Spade might once in a while in fishing and myself in golfing, but that's about it. Heretic Ward really did get close once, though. I thought he had 3rd last week, but I forgot if it was fishing or racing that he was like 3rd the entire event until like the last 10 minutes. Feeling bad for my state rival there. Anyway, next is racing, 1,009 Atlas Bucks profit, and I'm kind of surprised it's this much considering for 3 of the 4 events this month, I aimed for top 100 overall and top 10 in state, and that was pretty much it. So how did I manage to still make a relatively healthier profit? Well, I mulliganed and I hit a lot of 3s. So, you see, a race costs 2 Atlas Bucks. And if you mulligan and you hit a 3 on the mulligan, you actually come out profiting 1 Atlas Buck off the loss. But you don't get that mulligan if you win. You just lose 2 Atlas bucks because the expectation is you will make it up in how you place on the leaderboard, which much of the time, people will not. Now, if you lose in racing as much as I do due to some of the worst latency known to man that will probably never be fixed, you'll find yourself only spending, say, 95 Atlas bucks for 80 wins, rather than the expected 160 or even more for those that tried to get a higher ranking without mulliganing. So that's part of the reason why I'm able to just save up Atlas bucks as much as possible and try to get as close to 1 Atlas buck cost per win that I possibly can. And for those that are wondering, yes, I'm going to add that on the next optimal strategy guide. And if I don't, remind me, I'll make it an addendum in another video, especially if that optimal strategy guide is going to be as long as it is. All right, so the remaining ones, 366 Atlas bucks on the wheel. I think that's above average for the month. And it did help. I got 2 jackpots and 2 15s this month as well, so that's pretty healthy. Also, 310 Atlas bucks in referrals and 160 Atlas bucks from my mayorship for badges in Kannapolis. Thank you to the 8 of you who had bought badges here in Kannapolis. So I have used up all the Atlas bucks I could in buying parcels, except for about 50, which I was saving for the golfing event later tonight, actually. So by that time, I should be closing in on 300, but I'm probably going to be closer to like 220, honestly. So that's fine. So that is an extra 125 parcels for the month, putting me at 841 parcels, moving me up from 16th place. I'm going to show the leaderboard here all the way to 8th place. So here I am, 8th place in North Carolina. And I am also finally on the leaderboard, although I have to scroll very, very far down here. And then can I use my scroll bar to go? Nope. Okay. I'm going to have to... Up. I missed it. There I am at 473rd overall. Goals for next month are to try to match this and maybe even exceed this many parcels gained for me, or because I have the ability to at this point. Adding 125 parcels to 840 would put me at 965, which would put me pretty close to what we calculated as the break-even tier for Forex. I should have ample opportunity to not only get this, but exceed that, because I will get multiple bonuses next month with the day 90, day 7, and day 14 login bonuses. And they should also have a 33 Atlas buck to $1 event right around the corner, and I should have enough to convert to get me an extra 10 or so parcels compared to what I was getting in January. So right off the bat, I think I calculate that this will be an extra 20 to 25 parcels that I wouldn't have gotten in January. If everything else stays as is, that could mean even getting to 975 parcels, which would actually be break-even Forex tier territory. And if that happens, I'm going to need to make another trip video on March the 1st. So that's pretty much my progress in January on Atlas Earth. This is my main account, not the simulated account. The simulated account I'll probably show a little bit more of on the next log video. But a lot of you are wondering how I was doing with my own personal account. Well, there you go. So now let's finish up and show the condition of where I'm at with the simulated Atlas Earth account. So this is the simulated Atlas Earth account, and the reason why I make it simulated is because we're not allowed to have second accounts anymore. I know in previous videos way back in the past, 2022, we were allowed to have second, third, fourth accounts. We cannot do that anymore. They will ban us if we do. So the best way for me, I think, to show you the benefits of an Atlas Earth account from scratch is to just simply simulate it, because yes, the math is simple enough for me to look at. And let me readjust this here. There you go. So going into February 1st, currently have 85 parcels of land, 40 commons, 29 rares, 13 epics, and 3 legendaries. I also am calculating based on 22 hours per day with boosts. I'm assuming, 8 hours of sleep and rest. And then minus 6, which you will, max out the 6. And that gives us 33.2 cents per day, which gives us a monthly total of about $10.32 a month. That means I should be getting a new dollar to reinvest every 3 days or so. Again, the strategy now for the simulation is going to be a little bit different. I want to get to 150 parcels first, and then it's going to be a matter of cashing it out towards the Beer Money engine, and we're going to be cashing it out $5 a month. That is going to be my plan. The rest will be reinvested until we get max on badges. And yes, I'm going to assume that we have the ability to get 101 badges. I know we're at just one right now, but I will get this up to 101, and that is the next part of the strategy, is to gather up the 20,000 Atlas bucks needed to get to 101 badges, and that will also help us make things a little bit easier, just climbing up and getting that extra money for said Beer Money engine by about 25% more, actually. So I did make a change in the layout. You can see here this new column called Cash Out This Month. This is where I'm going to show all the cash that I have made for the month, and gift cards, of course. And then they'll be added to the cash out to date at the start of each month. So that's why you see the cash out to date here of each one, and then the cash out this month. So that way it's a little bit easier to track which one is on top after a particular period of time. Other changes as well. A lot of you have probably noticed that Microsoft Rewards no longer shows the 30 points for news articles, but at least as of right now, the 30-point news articles are still working. You just have to keep track of them yourself, basically. So that's why a lot of people have been wondering, like, is it gone? It's still there. I have tried it. I still get 3 points for each article that I read. Also, Amazon MTurk has finally been enabled. I think I mentioned that a couple days ago, and I have my first 46 cents. I plan to put down about $1 to $1.50 a day's worth of tasks done on Amazon MTurk. I don't know how long that would take me, but you know, every little bit would add up at that point. And if I get a little bit more, if there's something that really interests me, I'll add that task on. It is probably going to take away though from some of the others that have activities on, like maybe Benjamin, or especially Swag Bucks. As you can see my portfolio here, I'm getting quite overloaded again. And I also did get rid of Google Opinion Rewards because, again, that's all in Google gift cards anyway, and I'm going to be using that for my YouTube Premium, so I decided, okay, I'm just going to take that out, basically. Plus, I don't think since they're in like Google gift cards and it's Google credit, it doesn't even count as cash anyway, as far as I believe. So that is the video. If you like this video, give it a like. Give it a dislike if you don't. No question of the day today. Just talk about your progress in Atlas Earth, if you're a part of it. If not, I have a link in the description below with a fresh new referral code. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I hope you do. Check out this video on the left and more daily logs from my financial experiment, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everyone.